If you've played tabletop RPGs for really any length of time, you have run into scheduling problems. When this happens, it can be a difficult decision to cancel, reschedule, or just continue without the players that can't make it. This can be especially difficult with smaller groups, if it's going to be an important session or one that's very relevant to one of the players who's missing. While GMing, when I find myself in these situations, if I have at least 2 players that still want to play, I run an out-of-continuity game. Basically, a game that takes place at a different time in the character's story. I am not claiming that if not everyone can make it, just play something anyway, is a terribly revolutionary or original idea, but it's also something that some players need to hear, especially newer players and GMs that don't yet know how malleable games can be. I've seen too many good games fall apart because of constant rescheduling and the loss of momentum that can bring. Out-of-continuity games can be a great way of keeping that momentum alive while people's schedules clear up. It can also give you an excuse to try something new and different and liven up an ongoing game. These are the rules I use for my out-of-continuity games. The main game pauses wherever the characters are, and I run a one-shot for the players that were able to make it. The players accept that this game is only sort of canon and takes place at some point in their character's story, either before or after where they are in the game now. If the players want to figure out where in their timeline this session takes place, that's on them. The players will use their current characters with their current stats, abilities, and equipment. The additional mechanic I really like is the players only get to keep any resources, gear, XP, or anything else they find if they survive to the end of the session. This encourages GMs to be a bit more ruthless and deadly, but with much lower stakes. If one of the characters dies during this session, then maybe the story didn't really happen. This can be very freeing for GMs that have trouble actually killing their players. This can be a great way to test out new ideas, but with a familiar cast. It can be so much fun and a breath of fresh air to experiment with different genres and game styles. Letting you set up scenarios that might be out of place in your current game, or hard to get your players into. For example, you could take your traditional heroic fantasy D&D group and drop them into a zombie-filled survival horror scenario, or have them try to escape jail in a thrilling prison break, or solve a series of murders and play detective in a mystery, or test their wit and planning skills in an Ocean 11-style heist game. Players can also learn a lot about their characters when they're thrust into new and unexpected situations that they would not normally see in the main game. Let's go back to the zombie example from earlier. Your players are pinned down and running low on supplies and options. How will they act? Will they leave someone behind because it's safer for them, sacrifice themselves to let others get away? Or do they risk everything and make a last stand trying to pull through as a group against insurmountable odds? This can be a very eye-opening experience, and you might see a side of your character that you didn't expect. Also, if your players really like any of the changes you've made or the ideas you've introduced, you could start incorporating them more into your regular games. So the next time a few of your players cannot make it, try busting out one of those cool ideas that you have, but just haven't been able to find a use for yet. I want to thank everyone for watching. We've seen a lot of support lately for the channel, and it is very much appreciated. I was recently on the Dungeon Master Toolkits podcast, and I've included a link to that in the description. As always, if there's a question that you'd like to ask or a topic you'd like to see us cover in the future, just let us know in the comments. Until next time.